Hello, Steve White, Steve Art 9. Well, I've also started recollecting GoBots or Machine Men, whatever you want to call them, or Robo Machine. They started off as Robo Machine in Japan, then they became GoBots in America, and then they became, or were renamed Machine Men in Australia. So I knew them as Machine Men, but they're most commonly known as GoBots. So, yep. I always really loved these two, I guess, playsets. There was the goodies, the friendly Machine Men command center, and the baddies, the enemy Machine Men thruster one. And I love the idea of them being ships, and that you could actually put the figures in them. They turn into like little command center fort sort of things, but I prefer them as ships, and you can just fill them up with characters. It's great. Although I was disappointed to find out that this is actually not a little cockpit. It's just a little area that batteries go in to light up the lights. I think it's got lights on the other side. As far as I know, it works, but I just haven't tested it. So, but yeah, I got these because I never had them. But I also collected some figures that I didn't have. Like, one of the issues, or one of the things that I found weird, was the recoloring of figures. Like, I had a white Turbo. I'm not sure where he originated from. He might be one of the original Robo Machines. But Crasher was white in Australia. I'm not sure why, but there she's there. And there. We were kind of lucky in a way. We had 4 3B comics, Australian Adventures, all great Australian Adventures. I have 2 of them, but there were 4. And, you know, they basically just put a new title card on the show and just, you know, had different packaging. We basically got the same show. But there were a lot of cheap Machine Men. I thought they were knockoffs. I'm not sure. Like, I thought this was a knockoff, but it actually says Bandai on the back. And these ones are Poppy, which is, I think, the Japanese version before Bandai rebranded them or something. So it's a bit of a mess, but I got the Black Crasher, I got Cycle, which I never had, I got Coptor, who I didn't have, and I got Scooter, which I had a different version of Scooter. I think it had a watch inside it, I can't remember, but I did have one version of Scooter for years. And of course I had the white Turbo. And I did originally have Leader 1, but he was broken. I still have most of him. But I got a new Leader 1, a red Turbo, and a new Scooter. And I got the Black Crusher, Coptor, and Cycle. And now they fit in their own ships. And I don't know, I'm just glad to have them. I mean, I'm ultimately a Transformers fan first, but you know, I watched GoBots as well. It was done by Hanna-Barbera, the cartoon. It was a lot more kiddie, but it's still a lot of fun. I just watched the first 5 episodes, and it's still fun, even though obviously it's made for a younger audience. I still enjoyed it, and I was shocked to find out that Rene Auberjonois, whatever his name is, from Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Odo from Star Trek Deep Space Nine, plays the main human bad guy who sort of sold us out for the enemy Machine Men. So that was interesting. And Peter Walker and Peter Cullen and Frank Walker both play characters in the show. And I think the toys actually came out before Transformers. The cartoons came out pretty much the same year. I think GoBots were a couple of months before, or at least the movie, the GoBots movie, GoBots and the Rockmen or whatever, Battle of the Rockmen or something, that, which I do have but haven't watched, that actually came out 4 months before Transformers the movie. So a lot of people trash the Machine Men, the GoBots, because they were a little more kiddie, not as sophisticated, but I really liked them. I like the simplicity of the toys. I like the fact that you can fit them all in vehicles that they came with, which is something Transformers never had. I don't think we ever got an Ark toy, which I would have loved. But yeah, they weren't simply just, you know, childish knockoffs. And the odd thing is, they're eventually bought out. Tonka was bought out by Hasbro or whoever owns Transformers, and now they own the GoBots. They turn them into an alternative universe in the Transformers multiverse. And they do use the names sometimes, but Bandai still owns the actual toy molds and all the figures, so they haven't reproduced any of them to my knowledge, but they are a part of the Transformers universe now, which is weird. But either way, I'm just happy to finally have these two ships. I still need to order Zod, which I will get around to, but I always wanted these, and I just really love having them. I love being able to fill them up with the figures and storing them away like that.